Aleichem.
Welcome back. We all hope you had. We have. Aleichem Shalom. Welcome back. We hope you. Today we're going to start with how to use a twin lens reflex camera. A twin lens reflex camera was originally invented in 1913.
I just want to say one thing while we're on the subject of twin lens reflex. Anybody now, and I would like to. I would put money in. I would take anybody up on this one. That digital photography is infinitely better than film photography.
Film photography is making a comeback.
That's what somebody said to me, and I said to him, I was speaking to a contact that I have in London, who's one of the main distributors for photography in all of England, and in fact he actually has a large, big place in the world marketplace. And he was saying that film photography is on its way back. And
oh yes.
I said to him, what on earth are you talking about? Why would anybody be involved in film nowadays? And he was telling me that it's like driving a manual car. That if you know how to drive in America, I know that a lot of people just learn how to drive an automatic car, and they never know how to drive a manual car. In Israel, I think the basic principle is that you don't learn how to drive a car whatsoever, and you just get on the road and see what happens, hope for the best. In England, however, most people learn to drive a manual car, and that means that they also know how to drive an automatic car.
And not only that, but they understand the way the car works with the transmission and the drivetrain, the engine. They have a certain feel for the car.
Maybe, yeah.
Hopefully, that's the idea.
So this is what my friend Alice was telling me. In regards to the benefits of film over digital, I know people have spoken about this in the past. It seems to have people care less about it now because everybody's using digital. The truth is that I can't actually think of any benefits.
Well, I'd be happy to mention a few.
Okay.
When we talk about photography, there's something called dynamic range. Meaning, if we have a very bright scene, maybe you're in the desert at noon, and there's a very strong shadow, how much of that camera can really take all that in and show detail in the brightest places and the darkest places? So film actually has a higher dynamic range than digital photography. And there is one other advantage to film that I think we could say. It really has nothing to do, say, in particular with the photograph itself, or the way the photograph's rendered, or any of the technical details, but just the way a photographer takes a picture. That when I first started, I think in Shmuel first started in the darkroom shooting black and white 35mm film, is you had 36 pictures to take. And that was it. Maybe 24, maybe a little more if you round a little more film into the canister, however you wanted to cut it. But we had to be so careful and so precise with our pictures. No one wants to waste film. Today it's so easy just to push a shutter down and fill up a memory card. But back then people were much more meticulous about what kind of pictures they take, photography gained from it in such a way. Today, that whole advantage is really gone. We're so used to it. We're really in Israel they call it the Chad Parmi, the one-time, the throwaway, disposable plate generation, that maybe we don't think about each picture and try to get each picture in such a way that it's not integrated into us like it used to be.
And even less, also a very important point, this is very important in general, is to know that what do you think would leave a better imprint on you? If somebody shows you one fantastic picture, a fantastic picture, and say, here, Shlomi, look at this picture, it's beautiful. And you're like, wow, it's amazing. And then somebody comes with that same one picture, but they've put it in a pile of 10 very mediocre pictures. You go through, you say, okay, this is very nice, okay. You would feel that one picture, when you've cushioned it between such mediocrity, when you're taking the bigger picture, when you're taking the average geschmack of all the pictures, you end up with a diminished value of the picture. So this is something that digital photography is doing, in that we're taking so many pictures that now, I know in the old days a wedding album consisted of 30, maybe 40, if you're very rich, maybe 50 pictures. We now are giving to our client, and maybe from that, let's say they had 250, 300, 400, maybe 500 proofs maximum. Nowadays we're presenting to our clients on average between 1,500 and 1,800, Very rarely is it less than 1,500 pictures. That's a lot of pictures. Hopefully there aren't mediocre pictures in there, but if we understand this idea of the fact that in a lot of senses less is more, then this is one of the things that we have to work on in digital photography. And people would sit and they would wait and they would try and exactly time the moment. But that wasn't really the advantage of film, because I could, if I wanted, just load in a very small memory card. give myself 25 pictures of a wedding. I save myself a lot of
Next
time.
person to book with Diamond Images only gets 256 megabyte memory card, and that's it. That's all you get.
Shoot on large, which means you're going to get 15 pictures.
Yeah,
of the
15
wedding.
pictures.
Okay.
Going back to the way things used to be. Alright, I hope this class was enjoyable
Of
for
no benefit whatsoever.
Yeah.
And we look forward to seeing you next week.
Bye.
Mazel tov.
Mazel tov.